Next, let's queer up Black culture. What does Juneteenth really mean? And is it an LGBTQ plus moment? We have heard much about Juneteenth in recent years, but often the LGBTQ plus community does not fully understand its meaning. Juneteenth, celebrated on June 19th, commemorates the emancipation of enslaved African Americans in the United States. It marks the day in 1865 when Union soldiers arrived in Galveston, Texas, announcing the end of slavery, 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. While Juneteenth symbolizes freedom and equality for all Americans, many LGBTQ plus individuals, particularly those of color, recognize the intersectionality of their identities in an ongoing struggle for liberation. For queer people of color, Juneteenth can serve as a reminder of the shared history of oppression and resilience. It provides an opportunity to honor the contributions of Black LGBTQ plus activists to the fight for civil rights and equality. In essence, while Juneteenth may not be specifically an LGBTQ plus moment, its significance in the broader context of social justice resonates deeply with many members of the LGBTQ plus community who continue to advocate for equality and acceptance. The act of finding joy and happiness in the face of oppression is a profound form of resistance, reminding us that we are more than the discrimination and trauma we endure. This is such a great story. I'm glad that this has come to the light in the last 5 or 6 years. It wasn't until 5 or 6 years that we started to celebrate Juneteenth.
Right.
Okay.
That it came to light.
Made it a holiday.
And it's a federal holiday now, which is great. And we're seeing many celebrations here. We saw the first Juneteenth celebration this past Friday in Miami Beach by the Legacy Builders Incorporated.
I was there photographing.
That's right. Dale was there. That's right. We're going to see another one on Juneteenth, the federal holiday here at No Manners.
Yes.
I think I'm emceeing it actually. I just got told. Voluntold. I'm emceing it, which is great. But it really does highlight a significant part of our history. Think about it. 2 years later, is when people in Galveston, Texas realized and figured out that they were free.
2 years later.
2 years later, after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. So it is a significant moment. It is a moment to be proud of. It's a moment to celebrate. And it does have implications for the LGBTQ plus community, right? It opened the doors for all communities to be free, right? And so this is a great celebration. It's a great story. And looking forward to the event at No Manners. I know you're going to be there as well.
You know I'm going to be there, right? Yeah, I'm going to be looking at you from the audience going, you're going long. You're going long. Right?
So I'm emceeing it, so I'm just keeping the vibe going. You should be emceeing it. That's your job. I told them I'm not emceeing. That's not me.
Don't
get him. Don't get him.
You'll be fine.
I'm going to take my cues from Faye.
You will be fine. You will be fine. You're always great. Don't worry. Just remember, Terry does 3 minutes and then he's out. I'm just saying.
Get the hook.
Right? Okay. So going back to the story, the line that really got me in the story was the act of finding joy and happiness in the face of oppression is a profound form of resistance, right? How does that wash over you, Terry?
Well, for me, this day to me sort of set forth who I was going to be and what I was going to stand for in this life, right?
I love that.
I was born on this day. My birthday is
Shut
13th.
the front door.
Yes.
Yeah,
It makes sense as to who I am and what I stand for in our society, in our community, right? It was in the cards, right, that I was going to be a person that focused on oppressing and trying to uplift our oppression from the people that looked like me, right? So I am a person that's been celebrating this day since birth.
And you've grown up in
Literally.
that family knowing because so many people had no idea what Juneteenth was before.
Growing up, my family specifically made sure every Juneteenth I was at a community celebration in a park.
Oh my God,
amazing.
Made sure, absolutely.
And that long time coming, federal holiday.
Yes.
Was about time.
Right? Thank you, Biden, for that.
Thank you.
So question to both of you, right? To people that don't know what to do for Juneteenth, right? Or are like, well, I'm not Black, so maybe I shouldn't be celebrating it. Like, what do you, because those questions do arise, right?
Absolutely.
What do we tell them? What do we tell someone who tells us something like that?
To me, it's about our shared history. It's about the fact that this was significant for all people. All people are different, right? Because we could very easily, the other could be oppressed, right? If you're not white, cis person, you could very easily be oppressed. And so I think this is a celebration for all people. It doesn't matter if you're Black or not. This is about our country's freedom. This is about all people being free and equal in society, right? And so that's what I would tell people, is that it's just not just about black people. It just so happened that we were the ones enslaved, right? But, listen, you're Italians, you're darker, it could have very been the Italians. It could have been the other different groups, right? It could be anyone in our society. This is about this historic moment, celebrating our freedom, celebrating our liberation, but just for all people, I think. That's my message.
I agree. For me, I try not to, and as you were reading it, I was starting to feel myself get a little like chills and choked up, because this day to me means so much. And it's not about like, oh, I can't be a part of the celebrations. I can't go to the Legacy Builders barbecue. I can't go to the No Mariners event. You're an ally. There's a level of oppression for all of us, right? Like we're kind of being oppressed now, right? From a political perspective. So just find ways to celebrate and enjoy a day, right? It's not necessarily something I've heard people over years say, oh, I get a day off. Right?
Oh my God.
I get a day off. Yeah. I literally have heard corporations say that.
Yeah.
It's not about that. It's about finding the love and the joy and the happiness that we talked about, right? To celebrate each other and try to get away from that oppression.
Amen.
Yeah, and the event on Friday night, I just wanted to give it some kudos, because LaTanya Hobson put it together, the Legacy Builders.
Love LaTanya.
And it was truly a celebration of so many diverse communities come together. And one of the honorees was a white boy, Jeff Oliveira, one of our.
You can't call him white though.
Yeah.
He's Italian.
Yeah.
I mean, his last name is Oliverio.
Yeah. But, like, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
His middle name is Ravioli.
Love Jeff.
Spaghetti mangiano, whatever. But and we spoke about earlier Ebony Kristen, who was one of the award recipients, and her speech spoke so much to that note of everyone being involved, and that she is there for every single one.
That's right.
And it really brought it all together for me, her speech. It really did. So
Love it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.